Joining us now is Denis Mars, founder and CEO of Proxy. Now, Denis, tell us about how your vaccine pass, how it works.
Hi, Ken. So our vaccine pass works by enabling users to upload their vaccine certificates onto their phone and keep it securely on their phone. And using their phone, they can then check in at the office and verify their status that they've been vaccinated, so that the office can determine that the people that are entering the office are indeed vaccinated. And we do this in a privacy-preserving way. It's very important for us to maintain people's privacy. So we've designed this to really work in a way that people can maintain that privacy while at the same time companies can manage the safety of their offices and buildings.
So I'm looking at the chart there, but it says 100,000 of employees. So how many employees can use this app, and what do companies do if they have multiple offices?
Yeah, so it's really designed so there's an unlimited amount of people can use this. Anyone can download the app, they can digitize their vaccine certificates, and then they can start using it both to check in the office or in any other areas that require them to show proof of vaccination. And so we really designed this so that people maintain that control. It really is a personalized wallet kind of experience, where the more that you can maintain that control, the better it is for users. And so by enabling anyone to download the app and then to use it is really the key. And one of the things we found is that because there's so many different types of vaccine passports out there, everyone's confused about what to use and how to use them. And so what we try to do is to unify that and have a check-in experience that will support all types of vaccine passes, including the Proxy Pass, where ultimately, you have people traveling that are vaccinated in New York and have to go to California and have to check in there. So the idea is to make it as universal as possible, while at the same time, like I mentioned, protecting their privacy is our #1 priority.
I was going to ask, some people have to be concerned about the security of their health data. So how does your pass keep all that information safe?
Yeah, the key there is to make sure it stays on the phone. So everything you do is stored on the phone. And when you're verifying, you're actually just verifying the status of things. You're not actually sending information over. It's very similar to, in the old days of having a driver's license, that we call them old days, because we can digitize your driver's license and passports onto the phone now. When you used to share that with, let's say, the bar attendant to prove that you're over 21, you'd give over your driver's license and they can see your address and all other personal information. And so what we've done is to digitize this in a way when you do transfer over information, you're only transferring over the status. So for example, in the bar use case, you're showing proof that you're over 21, but you're not sharing your address or anything else like that. So that's how we've designed this, and that's why it's really important, so that as you're verifying these things, you don't necessarily have to share all information.
So does it authenticate by using data from individual states' medical records, or do you have to just simply scan your vaccination card? Because then I have worry of authenticity, because we've seen people arrested and things like that for using false vaccine cards, fake ones. So how do you deal with that?
Yeah, so what we do is we verify their ID cards. So we verify their driver's license and passports, and then they self-attest that what they've uploaded is a verified and a real certificate. We also do some secondary verification, so we allow businesses to verify where there's permission to do that. So that way, make sure that people are actually indeed uploading the right information. But we do this in a way that it's permission-based, so that way users are still in control, and where verification needs to happen, that can happen whether it's digitally by working with a provider, or if it's visually by sharing information with the company that needs to verify that you are indeed vaccinated. But that's all done in a way that users are in control of that, so that way it's not just information that's available out there. There are other services where you can just hit the endpoints on the web servers to try to see what information's out there. We protect users by making sure that they're always in control and it always stays on their phone.
Got it. And there's passes already, like in New York, there's the Excelsior Pass. I know Connecticut's making one in the fall. I believe New Jersey has one. So what makes your pass so different?
What makes us different is that we support all of them. The challenge is that, if you're vaccinated in New York, what do you do in California? If you're vaccinated in California, what do you do in New York when you're traveling there and need to check into the office? Which has just caused a massive problem for a lot of organizations that are either multinational or larger organizations that have employees that are in multiple different regions. And so that's just created such a complex dynamic out there that there's not one pass to rule them all. So what we try to do is to support all of them. We try to be neutral and to support the ability for people to prove that they're vaccinated, both by using the Proxy Pass app, but also by providing a check-in service that can check in multiple different passes as well. So we provide that universal solution so that companies can do this. And we just hear from customers all over the place that it just gets more and more complex. The more passes that are out there, the more confusing it gets, and people just don't know which pass am I supposed to use.
So are you getting a lot of interest from large corporations or smaller businesses when it comes to this?
Well, initially, a lot of the interest is coming from technology companies here in Silicon Valley, and that's quickly expanded to banks and smaller businesses, and we're seeing it sort of across the board now, everything from ballet schools to insurance companies and banks and food processing plants. So it's now hit the point where every company is trying to figure out what to do, how to keep people safe in the office. And now that we're in this situation where 70% of people are vaccinated in the US, there's still 14% of the US that is not vaccinated. And if you look at the charts, it's been 14% since December, so that hasn't really changed. So you have this mixed bag of people being vaccinated, some people not. So all sorts of businesses are trying to figure out what do we do to at least maintain some sort of a safe environment for people to either return to work or for them to keep their businesses open.
Now, I'm thinking, right now Proxy is mostly software, but are you considering hardware in the future, introducing like NFC kind of pads for these folks to just tap their phones to?
Yeah, so we do that. That was what we initially did as a business. So we started with enabling people to digitize their employee badges so you can use your phone to enter the office and to check in. So we support all buildings, all elevators, turnstiles, doors. And now with the ability to digitize your vaccine certificate, it's just another credential. It's just another proof point that I am who I am, and I also have the status to be in the building. So we do build hardware, we do connect it up to buildings. And one of the key things is we try to provide this digital wallet experience where the user still owns their information, and buildings and companies can then use it to allow employees to enter the building. And so what we're starting to see now as well is people are no longer going into buildings, so they don't need a permanent pass anymore, a permanent card. And instead, people prefer just to beam out their credentials to their phones now, and whether they come 2 days a week or 1 day a week, they no longer have to have a permanent card with them. So things have really started to change in the dynamic of how people are now entering buildings and accessing buildings.
Denis Mars, founder and CEO of Proxy. Sir, thank you so much for being on our show this morning. I hope you have a great weekend, and thank you.